What's up, everybody? RobLive in the house, and I'm excited about today's interview for a special reason. And the reason is that when I first thought about creating a podcast, a forum, a web page, YouTube, whatever, this guy I had in mind as a guest from day one. I think I even mentioned this to Jim a few times. And now we have him live in the studio, live and direct in full effect. I'm not sure exactly how he says it. Jesse Mendez in the house.
What's up? What's up? Live and direct full effect. Once again, it's that Money One Chicken on Chewy rocking the phone. What?
See, that's
What's
it.
What's up, everybody?
Oh man, when
Thank
you
you for having me.
Hey, when you first said that, right? You were on Facebook and you used to like post and you would say at the beginning. That was the first inspiration for me to go, oh man, hey, there's something to this social media. Like this guy has his own line. People follow him. I felt like I was living life with you at that time.
Right. No, I truly believe, I give out that love I get a lot of love from people, so I give that love. I love hard. Try to take care of everybody, do the best I can, any which way I can.
Well, the way I feel, the intention is to connect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as you know, some people use social media as a way to divide.
That's true.
And
very
I just
true.
I hate that side of it, but I know it's a part of the game, and I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. But there are some divisive people that sometimes I have to unfriend. No offense, guys, if I've unfriended you. And then there are people that I follow and check on all the time because I know they're bringing people together. You're one of them.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I always tell everybody, you put shit out there in life, you're going to get shit back. You put good vibes out there, you get good vibes back. And I always tell my prima in Stockton, Sophie, much love, I love you. I always tell the prima, I said, it's all about the good vibe. It's the right here, right now, not the yesterday, last week, and tomorrow. We don't know when tomorrow's coming, so I'm always just for the moment.
You're living in the moment. Yeah, my wife tries to remind me of that. I'm one of those guys who's like, I dwell on the past sometimes, or I'm worried about the future, and she'll bring me into that moment. And yeah, exactly, Jim. And Jesse, you're one of those guys, dude, who reminds me all the time when I check your post, like, hey, tomorrow's not guaranteed, so make the most of today. And I used to have this real like warped reality where, like, let's say I'm in a moment, right? Let's say it's New Year's and I'm with family and friends. I'm thinking about how much better New Year's could have been if it would have been here and I had this and that. And to me, when I watch you any day, whether it's Super Bowl, New Year's, barbecue, you're like, this is the mindset I get from you. Right now is the only reality that exists. And it's the most important moment is this present moment. And I see you partying, whether it's at Vegas or in your backyard, it's the same energy. Like, let's make the most of right now. Would that be accurate?
100%. I mean, I always just, like I said, just try to keep the vibe going, have fun with everybody, share the love, share the wealth. And the food, that's always another thing that we just come, break bread with everybody. So everyone helps out, brings potluck style where I cook or we make a meal, whatever, but everyone, the camaraderie just there. People want to have fun, good vibes, no drama. It's always fun.
And speaking of the gatherings, whatever, like I know that
you've been invited.
I've been invited.
You guys know you've been invited. You never showed, but you've been invited. I think after three invites, you get on the fucking no invite list. There you go.
He's gonna throw us out there on live. That's Jesse. Okay, so yeah, I have been invited. Now here's the thing that I noticed when I did show up. We went to Rodney O and Joe Cooley.
Yes.
You remember that at Strummers?
Yes. Great time.
And Jesse's like, hey, come through. And so we show up. And when we get there, it's me and my wife. She's never met you.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, so, who's Jesse? I said, Jesse's the party. I guarantee when we get there, he'll know either the bouncers, the bartender, and he'll have a crew of no less than 10. We show up. Jesse knows the bouncer, he knows the bartender, and his crew is at least 10 deep. And that's when I briefly met the lovely Maggie.
Yes.
And you had it all lined up, dude.
We chilled. It was a good night. Old school music, old school genre. It was great.
Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize because, not all of us are the gathering organizer. There's some headaches that come with it.
A lot.
If there's a good time, then Jesse's the hero. But if things go sideways, Mendez, dude, what happened? What, right? You take the heat. What makes you motivated to be in that position and have to take the heat or go through all the stress of making sure it's a good time?
A lot of times it's memories, just to make the memories of new and old friends alike. just to hang out. Again, like I said, just bringing everyone together. And I don't just kick it with Mexicanos. We kick with everybody, the Chinos, the Gabachos, the Negros, we're melting pot. We have love for everybody. So I really feel that when I put something together, it is stressful as far as the cook, how we're going to set the TVs up, how the sound.
Yeah.
You want the fire pit here, you want this over there. You don't want the fire pit on because your hair, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's always about having everyone come together and have a good time.
And you think about all that. You consider everybody, I think. Now, I've organized several events as well, and so you and I, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there, right? At the end of the day, right, we end up paying for some extra stuff, right? Yes. It's like, hey, you going to bring the carne? All right, well, if you don't show up, then I got to front it. You're going to bring the ice, whatever. You end up having to fill in the gaps for things people don't bring. And so you sent out the funniest Facebook post one time, and it was like, Jim, it said like 10 rules for barbecue. If you didn't bring nothing, don't be taking home 10 plates. What else is on there?
If you brought it, it stays.
Yeah, you can't take
if you're not drinking beer and you didn't bring in a beer, don't drink my beer.
Yeah.
I don't just drink like Modelo's and Corona. I drink IPAs.
Do you see this though? Do you see this going down at your party?
This is common courtesy, common sense.
Yes, it's just common, but common sense isn't that common. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fucking etiquette, bro. Like if you're going to a party, my daughter at 16 PYT, she goes to her friend's house. She'll take a 12-pack of sodas, a bag of chips, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know she's at the
contribute.
Yes, you have to. You can't show up empty-handed and want to eat everything.
At a potluck, you don't bring anything.
Yeah, not cool.
And that's the little things that get overlooked if you're not the organizer. So kids out there, and a little shout out to Jim because he was an ASB director. I recommend every student in high school take at least 1 year of ASB. And the reason for that is because ASB individuals have the same spirit and mindset as a Jesse Mendez. They understand that you don't just show up to a dance. Somebody rented the DJ, somebody set up the room, somebody put in the lights, all the little details.
Clean up. They hate setup and clean up.
Yep. And most kids will show up and with their ticket and go inside and everything's set up for them and then have the audacity to complain.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What kind of complaints do you get at the barbecues?
Oh, it's always the same one. Oh, you made chicken, but I would have put barbecue sauce on it rather on the side. But not everybody wants sauce on the chicken, so I put it to the side. Oh, you cut the tri-tip this way, you should have sliced it like that. Or,
wow.
Against the grain, with the grain.
Yeah, man, it's always
And for organizers, right, all three of us are organizers in some degree. We're just like, bro, you should be grateful
humble
that this exists. And that's how our mindset is when we go to other people's parties. We bring stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't complain. And as a matter of fact, forgive me if I'm assuming, but don't we end up helping a little bit because we see the struggle of the organizer?
Yeah. Always.
We're like, Mendez, this isn't your party. Yeah, but this guy needs ice, bro. I'm going to go get ice.
Bro, I'm going to crack the ice.
Hey, I got to throw in some 2 cents because my wife would always say, like, if you have a family function, is it the Mendez family or is it the wife's family, right?
Yeah.
Then it's your mess, your headache.
You're cleaning
right?
Up.
So when we would have Thanksgiving at my family's house or have them come over, she gets to sit down and enjoy the family. I have to do all the work, right?
There you go. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but sometimes they have to micromanage and do it the way they want to do it. But so I would always get in trouble for that. So,
well, here's the other one, and I know both of you have experienced this. I'm not even going to ask you because I already know. You have a barbecue, right? You have a party, and people start breaking into the cabinets. It's like, bro, if I didn't bring it out.
Right? It's not on the menu, bro.
It's not on the menu.
Why you got to open up another can of something?
All right, I'll start with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with you, then I'll go with you. What was something that people broke out of the cabinets that wasn't for the party? Extra beer, chips?
My Pandora box in my bar.
Pandora box?
I have a nice box. It's deep, nice, real made out of wood, really nice box. I'll send a picture to you. But that's where I keep my stuff, my personal stuff.
Yeah.
And so if we're having a kickback or whatever, and someone busts out a blunt, a joint, whatever, and I look at my box booth, I'm like, who got in my box?
People just help themselves.
Yeah. But I mean, we share, but I don't like sharing that all the time.
And Jim?
No, I think what's hard is when, let's just say, you already have an item out, and it's a flavor. And you already have like 2 more flavors in the fridge outside.
Was this chips or soda?
No, one time
He's trying to protect the innocent right now.
Well, I don't care. My cousin one time.
Oh, my cousin, he said it.
Well, that's the hard part is when it's family.
That's the worst
You're
part.
like,
And then it's always going to be family.
But you know what, though, Jim? Here's my thing. And I don't mean to interrupt,
No.
but I'm like, am I going to, like, really have beef with my cousin over a bag of chips? I'll pull him aside later. We'll talk about it. But
no, it's not a bag of chips, though.
When
it's a bag of chips, that's
all
like
that in a bag
$2-3
of
bucks.
chips.
Yeah.
When it's a $12 thing of creamer or some kind of flavored stuff, and they're like, I don't like that one. I'm gonna go out and open another one, or another brand new bottle of tequila. Yeah, you're like, oh, you open my good stuff.
I don't need to drink that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's I think what it is. Hey Jesse, bro, there's a box in there, man. Hey, there's some stuff in there. I know it's probably not mine, but is it okay?
We get it.
Exactly.
Have a conversation.
If you open up that discussion of like mannerism and courtesy,
let me go get it for
just
you.
ask.
But here's the other thing too. Because of your personalities, right? Your natural host and you're welcoming. People take liberties with that. It's like, oh, Jesse's so generous, he won't mind. But I think asking is such a big part of it. You know, and I'm even this studio, Jim, you have this big layout here, right?
Very cool.
If I just showed up randomly on a Saturday and just start using the studio, Jim's like, bro, this is my house.
What's
like,
happening?
You know what I mean? We have
all
to
these people.
But as an organizer of things, I'm very conscious. This is Jim Chance's baby. He created this. To be here is a privilege for me, right? And always going to be conversations. Even if my sister showed up last week, what did I say?
Yeah, you asked.
Hey, is that cool if Cynthia shows up? I don't just be bringing people in here.
Well,
this is somebody's home.
And not that it mattered, but I asked Jesse, I go, hey, you bringing someone? Because I like to show it off.
Yeah,
you know? So
I would too.
So
and it's courtesy.
And if he was able to bring some other Rosie guys here, which I'd love to have, come on, bros, cool. Come on, check it out.
And so, viewers, people, if you're not an organizer, please understand that we love to have you. We love throwing these events, but it's really about a matter of respect when you ask for something first. I think there's some people out there today. Right? Did I break into the cabinet? Is Jesse talking about me? Right. So, Jesse, I want to go back a little bit.
For sure.
Because I know that you and Jim have a history, and I think this is our third Orosi or fourth Orosi reference, but you guys all grew up together in the small rural community of Orosi, right? What was it like growing up there?
It's cool. I mean, we all skated a mile back and forth Cutler Orosi. We were all on skateboards.
Skateboard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We used to ride. We used to ride.
He has look, he has them still
right
on the
here,
walls.
for sure. I seen that.
Jim told me he was a skateboarder. He collects them.
Yeah, I collect them.
And so you guys would start skateboarding.
Elementary.
Did you live near him?
No, I lived in Orosi there in Cutler.
Oh, okay.
So I went to, what is that, Cutler School Wildcats?
Yep.
The
I went
Wildcats.
there for, I think, a year or something like that. And then I went back to Orosi. So I knew them like, all through that era right there. And then through high school, we all still clicked the same people.
Yeah.
After high school, we'd get together like at Stewart's house, something like that, a little gathering or here or
Stuart
there.
Castillo.
Yeah.
There's
Sadly,
another
we
one.
see
Hey,
each other at
Stuart,
funerals and stuff,
we're
but,
waiting for you, man.
I was just thinking that, bro. It's
Yeah.
like we're at that age now. It's at funerals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
funerals.
Weddings
That's
are
what we
already,
talked about.
Weddings and funerals.
Jim and I talked about earlier today is get together. That people from Rosie, the guys come out here, chill. We're gonna have a good time out here. Bring your trailer, stay right here, have a good night.
Dude, if the Orosi guys all get together, I'm crashing that party.
It'd be fun.
Because I want to be in the background just because I was never a part of that. And there was a part of me, and this is something I maybe haven't shared enough with Jim. I shared a little bit with Andy. But there was a part of me that was kind of fascinated by the whole Orosi scene. And I don't know if this is going to be an insult or if this is going to be a compliment, but it's a tiny town, right?
Mm-hmm.
With one high school, and all resources are right there within that community. But Orosi people were like the most confident individuals I would ever meet. Andy, you, Jim. And I was like, bro, these guys come from a tiny little farm town, but they walk with their heads up and their chest high, and they have a lot of pride in their community. Whereas me, I might have taken a different route, like, oh, I'm from this little small town. Nobody might have heard of it. You know what I mean? So the fact that you guys were so prideful about your community and stood up for it, I admired that. So I want to see that in action. What do you think? Where do you think that confidence came from for you early on?
Exactly that. It being a small town, everyone picked each other up. You know what I mean? It wasn't always dogging somebody out. We all played sports together, rode together, skated together. And honestly, a lot of us would walk back and forth, and everyone helped each other out. It was never like a put down to anybody. And me, I love, like I always told you earlier, to me, it was a village that raised a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of us have been reprimanded or corrected by an adult that we didn't even know personally, but it's how the community does it. That's what you're supposed to do. Back then, it's a lot different.
Raised by a village.
Yeah, and I know I'd be messing up, so hey, don't do that. All right, you're right. You know, but at the same time, they'd help you out with whatever you needed.
I missed that. So, in reference to your childhood and growing up, who were you raised by specifically? Were your parents involved, or what was?
My mom wasn't around. Dad wasn't around. My grandmother raised me. My grandmother Misa Artie.
And you had siblings?
I had a sister Rochelle.
So it was just you and Rochelle.
Right, it was just Rochelle and I. And my grandma raised up to 90 when she passed away. And I had told you before, I had an awesome opportunity with the Quintanas, Mike and Daniel Quintana, Terry and Lawrence, the parents. They took me in. My tia Lupe took me in. And
after your grandma passed?
After my grandmother passed, yeah. I was just kind of lost soul, I guess. Kind of figured shit out.
How old were you, Jesse?
15 and a half.
Oh, dang.
15 and a half years old.
So 15 and a half is when your grandma passes, and she was like your everything.
Everything.
What was your level of interaction at that time with your biologicals?
My mom I would see, but like I said, she was in and out of prison throughout my growing up, my childhood. Never really seen her. She'd be out would be like 6 months, 3 months, 6 months. The longest I think was 9. It was always back in and out, in and out, drugs. My dad was in and around here and there, but actually I just came from Arizona, so I think I probably seen my dad a total of maybe 6 times. Maybe this would have been 7 in my entire life, and it's because I've gone that way 2 times to see him.
Wow.
And I'm cool with that, but at the time growing up, I just had a lot of anger.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck this and all that in the world. But I think 20 years later, my mom's still always been a part of my life, but not stable. And now I could proudly say my mom's very stable. She's been clean and sober for, 31, 32 years.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, definitely a blessing for sure. And she's doing good for herself, and she's married. And my dad's out there in Arizona. He's getting his life together as well.
So it would be safe to assume, because, I've had other friends where the parents weren't around. I'm blessed that my parents were around as much as they were. It wasn't a perfect thing, but they were around. But all the friends I've had where the parents weren't around had this kind of real independent survivalist mindset where, like, it's on me. So you went to college. I met you in college.
Mm-hmm.
You got through high school.
I did.
But a lot of that, did you feel like you were just it was me and Rochelle against the world, or me on my own?
I was just pretty much me on my own, man. Like, my sister was doing her own thing. She would help me out when she could or whenever she wanted.
As best as she could. I mean, being a teenager, you're kind of focused on yourself, right?
Just, like I said, there's a lot more to all this, but I just feel that it was pretty much me on my own at that point with the help of the Quintanas, my tia Lupe, Mrs. Delgado. She was a big part of my life.
Mrs. Delgado, she was the attendance person at what school?
At Rosie High School.
All right. First shout out, Mrs. Delgado.
She's passed away, R.I.P., great woman.
Oh, she passed away.
Oh, yeah, she was, man, you fuck around with her. She was mean, dude. She was mean, but she kept it real.
Tough love?
I loved, yes, absolutely.
Mendez,
Yeah.
where were you yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I need a note.
Yeah, I need
She asked for the note.
Yeah.
She had a window. And
Oh, you know her?
Yeah, everyone knew her. You had to
Mrs.
see-
Delgado.
You literally snuck under her window trying to get by the kid.
She would see you.
She saw you right there. Get over
So-
here.
so
She
she
reach
would-
over like that, the counter,
Yep.
look.
You have,
Yeah, she
Yep.
would.
you have to have the right personality to do that job.
The one
It's
thing
just
I'll
like-
never forget, she told
Yeah.
me my grandma passed away. She said, Mio, I'll be your grandma from now on. And I hear like yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
The world.
That she stepped up like that?
The world. It was at the right time, at the right moment, right day, everything. You know, it was
And
pretty
I know-
inspiring.
And now, audience, I know I'm a little biased as a public school teacher, but these are the type of relationships that a lot of our teachers and educators and staff, administrators, our attendants, counselors, social workers, we do this every day. This is the kind of relationships that we try to have. And a lot of times it's with the kids who do not have their parents present. But I just want to give a big thank you to Mrs. Delgado, and I'm sure her family's still around for stepping in for Jesse. Yep, there's the applause. What do you say, bless up? Is it bless up?
Yeah, bless up. It's man love.
So when I think about bless up and I think about some of your vibes and vernacular, the different slang you use, I always feel like if I had a Jesse Mendez song to like kind of relive everything or his vibe, I always go to reggae, bro. Am I accurate in saying reggae?
Yeah, I've always
is the
listened to it.
background to your life.
Yeah, I've always listened to reggae. Back then, we always had Bob. We had
One Love,
we had Tosh. We had Still Paul.
Peter Tosh.
Yeah, we had a few people back then, and Jimmy Clay. I heard him, but didn't really follow him like that.
Yeah.
And this is that new rock reggae that's out there. You know, the new R&B reggae.
Yeah.
And it still has a vibe to it. It has that feel. So yeah, I listen to a lot of that.
What's that concert that you go to every year in like
Cali Roots.
Cali? Where is it at?
That's
Cali
Monterey.
Roots is
It's
where,
coming up in May. It's
Man.
Memorial Weekend.
and that's your thing.
Yeah, man,
Every
I've
year.
been doing that for the 14th year, so we probably 10.
And you guys go like you mob deep, or you go on your own, or
We start off on our own, and then everyone starts finding out we're going, and everyone wants to come. Yeah, fuck yeah, we got room. Come on, bro, we got room. Yeah,
yeah.
bring your trailer, bring a tent, whatever. You sleep on the trailer inside the bed, whatever. But yeah, and it gets bigger and bigger every year, and then the vibe continues to grow. I think one year we were like 12 deep, and that was hard, man, because to get everybody going to one concert venue, like, because you have 3 bowls. You have the bowl, the main stage, and the out stage, and to get everybody going at the same time, it's hard. So now we just tell people,
And
we'll be at
again-
the bowl. We'll be at the center stage. We'll be at the main stage.
Yeah, and again, that's the stress of the organizer, and what I love about that is that you're thinking about other people. I remember when we went to Rodney O and Joe Cooley. We show up, it's me and Pearl, and it wasn't just like, Jesse sees us like, oh, what's up? No, come here, bro. Hey, bro, this is Juana. This is her husband Joey. This is if you guys want to get your drink on, right? They got something over here. Like, it was like Strummers, like you were almost the manager of Strummers that night, and we felt welcomed. We were part of a group, and God forbid things go down, but sometimes things go down. I felt like I wasn't alone. It wasn't just me and Pearl. It was like a whole crew of people. Have you always been a connector, a gatherer, or is this something in your later years?
No, I guess unknowing to me, but yeah, the extrovert personality, I just want to bring everyone together, have fun.
Yeah.
I try to share my experience with people, my memories with people. Try to do different things, and then I'm always up to following something different. I mean, not always my events, because I have annual events. I have like Buns in the Sun, Pismo, in Milton Lake. I have Son of the Beach in Pismo, and the Shaver Lake one we go to, and those have been like 10+ years each.
And
15.
this core of people that I tend to see on your Facebook posts?
Juan Ibarra and Irene Martinez, they're solid. They always go with us. Gary and Senya Alvarez, they go with us.
Are these all Fresno people, or
Yeah, back home, I saw you.
Because you've been in Fresno for how long now?
28 years, 29.
Yeah, I associate you with Gabriel Marquez and
Right, he's out
and Jesse Mendez are me, the Fresno people. Jim's the Madera guy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I always associate people with areas, right? I don't know if I'm the London or Lemoore guy. I don't know,
London.
or Stratford guy. I don't know who I am.
London.
London? Is it London?
London.
I'm the London guy. Did you ever go to London?
Yeah.
You did?
Boy, did I, yeah.
Back in high school or
Yeah,
before
high
then?
school, before, during. I even did one time, you stole me a shirt. I even when I did this picture sign in London, you were giving out shirts, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got my shirt.
Oh, the Library for London? You never got your shirt?
No.
Oh, my God.
So I put that on here.
Yeah.
My shirt.
Hey, I'm making more shirts. I really am, because I want to bring that
92.
back. Now, do you want? You get choices now.
Oh, shit.
You want the RobLive? You want the Library for London? Or you want both?
Both.
Both.
Gotta have both.
What's the size?
Oh, we'll go some medium.
Medium.
Whatever.
I'll gladly take a 3X.
I'd love to see Jesse in this medium. You're 3X.
I'll take a 3X.
All right, we'll take
I'm
a 3.
2, I like 3.
Like a little breathing
Little gut
room.
and butt, you know what I mean?
All right, we're gonna set that up. I'm glad you brought that up, because I really want to make sure. I never want somebody walking around like, that fool said I was
get
gonna
my
get a
shirt."
London shirt. So, Jim, any Jesse Mendez memories, or back in the day, like, because remember, okay, audience, Jim and Jesse grew up together. I want to say, like, how old were you when you met him? Grade school?
I think
Good
so.
6
Yeah. Well, and we were just talking about that. There's so many things that we've integrated in each other's lives all the time.
Yeah.
That that there's always those kids that were in that group, but you
Yeah.
didn't really remember certain occasions and stuff like that. I do remember, and I brought this up before, and I'll bring it up, and it's probably gonna piss them off. But do you remember us crashing your Elite?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he does.
Elite was your.
My
He had a
ninja,
moped. He had
my
a
ninja,
moped.
my motorcycle.
Yeah, Julian, Chuck, and I we went out and we were driving, and Chuck was driving, and he jumped, and I fell off the back. Cutler School used to flood everything, and
And you told him
we
nothing
came back,
happened.
and Chuck was all like, "It was like that, bro." He was like,
We didn't wreck it.
"Well, because you were one of the first ones that would drive the moped to school,
Yeah.
and didn't even have. Do you have a license? Nah.
Not then.
Yeah. So, But no, just growing up like we did skating all the time. I mean, him and all the guys. It's and I'm gonna put you on a pedestal here, but you were like the glue that kind of like made everyone want to go and like, hey, is Jesse gonna be there? Yeah, all right. Well, it must be good then. If Jesse's gonna be there.
Guy. He's the
right?
same guy. Huh?
So all of us, we all just like the bank. That's all my fondest memory of the bank, skating that bank.
Yeah.
There were Stewart's on David Road.
Yep.
The Kings River Bank. We skate that whole rail. Remember rail all the way down?
Yeah.
That was a long rail.
Ain't no party like a Mendez
So
party.
were you at Stewart's at Candy's house the last time we all got together?
I was there before that. Then you guys went the following week or something like that.
But
I didn't make that
and
one.
and I know if you would have been there, it would have been the same thing. But see, you guys have Robert. You have the Sauce Crew, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the same gathering of
14 guys.
right? So when we're on the group chat too, when we talk, and
Yeah.
I think one of the I could brag about this is all of us could just be put in a place and instantly it picks up where we left off.
Yep.
Could be years.
Years. And, I mean, we're gray hair, we're fatter, we're uglier, whatever. So, but I loved how we could just start capping and having fun and just rolling with the punches and remembering times that it was, and hardly ever we don't get on each other. It's
but don't we have
especially with 30, 35 years? You know what I mean, with you and with Stuart and Johnny, that's 40 years, 45 friendship years. I mean, it's crazy. And people, Maggie trips on all the time that we still have contacts, friends that we associate with, talk with every day, every so often that we've had for all these years.
And you can not talk to each other for years, and all of a sudden, hey, Jim, remember, I think the last time we really talked was when, what's his name, passed away, Gabriel.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, you asked me something. Right. Yeah, there you go, right. So a friend of ours, especially his.
Yeah, we were
really
going to talk about that.
Yeah. So, but it was just like, can we help each other out, and do whatever it takes to do that, so, and it's just the connections, so I think that love is just passionate, just, and not
people
in
a small town.
Yeah,
Kids,
exactly.
Children that grew up in a small town, that niche is always there. Years later, it's always there.
No one else, no one else will know.
Real talk, I won't mention the person's name. At one point, one of our friends, a mutual friend, a very good friend of yours too, I'll tell you about it later who it is, but living in the LA area, going through a lot of trauma and whatnot, called me and said, hey, bro, can you call me an Uber? I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, who's this? And he said, oh, man, what's up? Hey, can you call me an Uber? I'm in a bad place and need to get out of here. I'm like, how do I do? Give me an address, whatever, location there. So I did all that, and I got him where he wanted to go. And then like a couple days later, he called me back. He's like, I want to tell you thank you because, I know we haven't talked in about 20 years, but I just see you on social media, and I just reached out to you. And I was like, yeah, no problem, bro. The Uber was like $27 on it. He went from one spot to the other in LA, and it took forever to get there, I guess. But I dripped out like, what? But like you said, we'll do and they help each other out. I haven't talked to that person in probably 30 years.
Wow.
And then they just hit me up like that out of the blue. I'm like, yeah, got him an Uber. I don't have it like that, but I just knew the voice, the panic. I knew something was wrong. They needed to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with Jim on that. A lot of us to continue to – when my cousin passed, I mean, I know we'll talk about that, but Jim was able to make it to where the guy that interviewed me, and I forget the guy's name, really cool dude, though, asked a lot of appropriate questions and asked too many different questions that were going to hurt to bring to the family, especially dealing with my prima. Yeah, it was crazy.
So wouldn't this be like the perfect layout for a Rosie reunion?
Oh, definitely.
I'm antagonizing it right now.
It doesn't even have to be this, bro. You could put us in a field.
Yeah.
And
I want to be able to see it.
And that's actually where we started out.
Yeah, that's the best times ever. In the witches, the fields.
Yeah,
the orchards.
Moon Hill.
Oh, yeah. The best. Moon Hill.
So we've made reference to this before, and I want to talk a little bit about it. You had a cousin named Runt. Tell us a little bit about him.
Jose Lopez Runt. Like a brother to me, man. We grew up again, like I said, my Tia Lupe. My Tia Lupe's house was a quote-unquote halfway house for us primos because she had like all of us. Tiger, Jaime, Jay, Brian, me, Runt, and her own children living there. And she always took us in, no questions asked, fed us all, clothed us, sheltered us. Runt and I grew up tight. Both came to Fresno, lived out here, hung out. He worked for Brinks, and we'd see each other here. Our kids would grow up together, for the first early part of the years. And we'd always hang out. And then when he passed, it was just like, for all the wrong reasons, all the wrong times, like, he should have never been there to begin with. It was just everything was bad about the whole fucking vibe that night. That Friday night we were with each other. Saturday morning he passed. But that was like we talk about living here right now for the moment. That was, to me, was my eye opener. Like, I know today's not promised. I know when we're in the womb, we're already given a day to exit and a day to entry. And I know that. And so I never thought that happened to Run as big as he was. Run's a big old dude, bro. Like, huge, yoked out, muscular dude, worked out. And so when God took him, it just made me really think, like, hey, tomorrow not promised to anybody. So live right here, right now, for the moment. Just start living for what for you guys, for me, for us, for whoever's around us right now. We have a good time living right now, having fun, rather than sit back on regret and think, oh, I could have done this. I should have, would have, could have. No, I just do it. And a lot of people are like, well, why did you go do that? Because I wanted to. You know, Maggie and like, we'll just go here. So we'll do a hike. We'll go here. Like, what made you go hiking? Max, let's go hiking. Let's go hiking. You know, just stuff that you would normally do. You want to plan out months in advance or get an itinerary. Well, let's just go. Like, fuck. When I went from Vegas to Tucson, that was a matter of like 2 days. I stayed there for 2 weeks. I was like, no, well, 10 days, whatever, but it felt like for 2 weeks. And it's all last minute stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just go. And that's what we
Trying
do.
to live in that moment.
Just trying to live. Like, I mean, like I could have, I don't know, man. Like I see a lot of our friends that have a lot of things, that have a lot of money, value, property, whatever. But I see a lot of them, they don't have that love at times.
Or
And
a life.
a life, yeah. I mean, and I have friends that have nothing and they have the best fucking life, the best love. I have nothing and I have the best. I think I have a good life. May not be the best life, but I think I have a good life. I have a strong support system with my lady and
I
our
follow.
daughter.
You have a great life.
And the kids, you know, the boy and Bree and Noetta, Michelle, they're a big elder, they're a big support system. When we need help, they're there. But I really feel that, you know, just sadly, man, like Jim and I talked earlier, we see each other through funerals, see each other through deaths. I want to see each other through the good times, not always the bad times, bringing up the old times. I want to make the good times, you know?
I feel from you that now, I don't know if it was Runt that helped with this, but it seems like you don't take your days for granted.
Yeah. A lot of it was with me and Runt, like I said. I mean, I talk to him all the time, but it just the fact that when he went, I just like to reiterate, yeah, whoa, this is real. This is something that's not here for every day.
So I had told you this on the phone earlier, and I wanted to say, hey Jesse, if I could kind of summarize your life experience, I would say it's a good life, but not an easy one.
Absolutely. When we talked, I remember you said that. I'm like, that's true. You know, it's I've had a great life, but not an easy life.
Yeah.
And I believe that I make it whatever it is. If I want to have a bad day, then I'm going to start off having a bad day. It's only going to get worse unless I correct it. It's only up to me. It's my free will, my choice to make these days. And, of course, people, environments, elements make a difference in the behavior, but it's how I act.
How you respond to
how I
that.
respond to whatever's triggering whatever.
So going back a little bit, you told me another pivotal loss in your life was your grandmother, who was your sole parental figure for a long time. And I remember talking to you about this and saying, hey, Jesse, you know, there was a time when I felt I could describe you as reckless, not caring whether you lived or died in that time. So talk a little bit about that period in your life and how you got out of that.
I just feel that the title recklessness or the term, yeah, it would fit perfectly then. And just because when she passed, I had nothing to live for. I didn't want to live. I contemplated suicide. I did. Father Scott was huge, the Catholic Church in Cutler.
Father Scott. What made you go to him?
He came to me and started having me after my grandmother passed. He when she was sick, she had cancer. So when she was sick, she was battling cancer back and forth to community in Fresno. He would come over and visit me. He'd come and check on me. And I really believe that Father Scott saved my life. He did, because at the time that I had a little gun, thought I was badass, a little 380. And I remember when I had said I was going to shoot myself. I'm like, I don't want to live. My grandma's not going to be here. I have nothing to live for. I went through all these reactive attachment bandage issues. My parent, my grandmother, my mom, my dad, like I said, never been around. But, you know, a lot of that, I just felt like I don't want to live. I don't do nothing. But I knew that my grandma would want me to do something to better my life. And, cheat on, whatever, pick up, get up, go where you got to go, make it work. And so I've always tried to make it work.
Was she like a tough love presence?
Yeah, my grandma, yeah, she was definitely tough love. A lot of my friends were scared with Stuart. My grandma Johnny always talking about how mean she was. Like she was mean. My grandma would yell. Like there wasn't a volume on her, the medium low. It was always full blast, always yelling. And when her yelling, was her talking.
Yeah.
And I guess I get like that too, because I get to, why are you yelling? I'm talking. But I guess I get like that.
Yeah, my wife tells me that all the time. I think all of us from Rosie yell.
Yeah.
We're always loud.
Bros, we're the bros. Yeah, but no, I owe a lot to my grandmother teaching me and letting me be who I was, and Father Scott for stepping in when he did. And
thank you.
I really
Father
feel
Scott.
that. Yeah. I mean, my gun jammed. I did pull it. It locked. It jammed.
You went so far as to put it up to your head.
Yeah.
Your gun
Fucking
jammed.
locked, jammed. And Father Scott knocked on the
my
door,
God.
and the door wasn't it was unlocked, and he just opened it, and he just walked in, and he got my hand and had it like that, and he just got it like that, and he took it, and then he started crying. I let go, and he goes, "Oh, what were you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know."
He just came over at that time unannounced.
Yeah, she see, he had told me weeks before that. What would you do when your grandmother passed? I said, honestly, brother, I'd probably just kill myself. I don't want to live. And he was like, "Mijo, God wants you to live." He was real spiritual, Catholic, the priest.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't want to live for us, God. I have nothing to live for. My grandma's gone. That's my everything, my only thing I know. I have nothing." And he was like, "But your grandma would want you to live." I'm like, "How? Why would I suffer? Why would I go through all this?" So we told the hospital the day that Artemisa passes, and she passed away at 2:56 in the morning, not to call me, but to call him. So he called him right when it happened, and he drove to our apartment. And he drove there, and I got the call around 3:10, and it was 2:56 when she passed. I got the call about 3:10, and he was already at the house at the door. And I didn't hear him knock. I honestly, when I got the call, I just pulled the phone out of the wall. I threw it and went all crazy. And I knew I had my gun in the living room, and I went over there to get it. And then, like I said, I did. I went like that, and then it jammed, and that door opened up.
You
and
pulled the trigger.
I pulled the trigger. I did. I pulled the trigger, and that door opened up, and I looked like that, and he just came and got it like that, and took it away from me, and he set it on top, back on the TV. We had the big ass console TV, the big old TV. He set it right back on there, and he looked at me. He was like, "What were you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know." And that was the first and last time I ever considered doing that. And of course, something like that, 5150, you need to be pack unit and all the shit. But that was my scared straight, and I never thought about it again. And I knew that I have a purpose to be here, and so
Amen.
so I try to make that purpose.
So here's the thing, and people can argue with me all they want about coincidence and whatever, but when as a Christian, people ask me like, "Well, how do you know God's real?"
Yeah.
And I talk about moments like this, and I say, well, when you look at a moment where a pastor intervenes, a priest intervenes right when he was needed.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's an insightful man, and I'm sure he's got great experience, but his timing and the fact that the gun jammed, like those are the things that make me feel like God is real.
Oh, for sure. The man above is everything. Yeah.
Oh, man, just thank you for sharing that. All right, RobLive, we're going to take a break real quick. And sorry, Jim, to throw that on you right away. But we'll come right. Jim's like, "Damn it, why don't you tell me we're doing break?" What's up? We're back with RobLive. And again, I'm with the one and only Jesse Mendez. Where's the hype button? Where's the hype button? There it is. He brings us on the hype button. So speaking of hype, you're the kind of guy that I heard about before I even met, right? So we're going to clear your name right now. But I was walking through the hallways of Dinuba High School, right? And you could hear from, various individuals, "Oh, yeah, Jesse Mendez." Now, it all depended if it was a female, right? The whole comment was, "Jesse Mendez, he's so cute. He knows how to dance. He wears Z Cavaricis." Did you have Z Cavaricis?
I did.
Right,
I did.
right. And so it was all compliments from the ladies. On the male side, and again, these are not people I knew, but things I would hear, is, "I want to fight Jesse Mendez." So I always, before I met you, I always envisioned this guy who was either dating someone or getting into a fight. Was that accurate?
Yes. Haters are going to hate. Growing up, I can honestly say I spread my roots everywhere, loosely and carelessly. I did. But it was a lot of guys that just didn't even know. I could be standing in line at somebody at the Quick Shop in Dinuba, Quick Shop in Rosery, Save Mart Center, Save Mart grocery store in Dinuba, and in front of somebody, next to somebody, behind somebody. They wouldn't even know who I was, but they said they fought me. They're going to fight me. That when I see him, I'm going to whoop his ass. Blah, blah, blah. I'm standing next to you. They don't even know who I am. It was always just somebody hating, making up lies, rumors, saying I did this, I did that. A lot of times, I didn't do half the shit they say.
And what do you think the root of those rumors or that hate was? Where'd that come from?
I think because I had good hair back then.
Yeah,
I rocked that mullet tough.
Jim, do we have a yearbook picture we can post? Because I loved it. He had the perfect pompador.
Right now.
He's going to pull it up.
No, I just think a lot of it just hate. Like the dudes hated on me, didn't know me.
Yeah.
Maybe because I had the gear, the clothes. I don't know. I had friends who hung out.
Yeah.
We had good times. I was friendly to a lot of the girls from Dinuba. A lot of good times out there.
I have
The
I have a theory, right? So here's my theory. Whether it was false or genuine, and I say this from my own personal experience, when I first met you, you exuded a level of confidence that I've not been around. It was almost like celebrity level confidence, professional sports level confidence. You would come into a room, and I don't want to say take over because that sounds aggressive, but more like socially, Jesse was the party, or just everyone to hang out with Jesse. And that can be intimidating for some people, especially if you're insecure. Would you say there's some truth to that?
I would say there's a lot of truth to that. It's not that I have this confident level. I think I'm above everybody. It's just that I am who I am. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get told that many times. The way I like to describe myself is I'm smooth on the surface, but rough around the edges.
Yeah,
And I like to say that because I got told that one time.
yeah.
My professor, actually, she told me that. And I was like, what?
Was
I
this
thought-
at COS?
No, actually, at City
Cuesta?
College. City College, yeah.
Okay. Wait, how
Little
many
city.
schools you go? All right, let's do the school count real quick, because you told me you changed schools a lot, and you even said you went to a Catholic school in Fresno.
Oh, elementary, junior high growing up.
So let's
yeah.
start from the jump. I'll put the fingers up.
So,
First school.
Cutler, Almani School,
Almani.
Palm School,
Palm.
Palm's probably first. Cutler Wildcats. But then I told you I got banned at every Tulare County school
For
fighting. The time I fought with Raul Marroquin, I remember that my junior year. Like,
at a Rosie High.
yeah. I got,
So
that
did you
one
get kicked out of
expelled me.
Rosie too?
Yeah, at high school, junior high. I had to go to the St. LaSalle and Reedley. I could go to any Tulare County
St.
school. I had to go to
LaSalle.
Fulton County. Yeah.
Wow.
My grandma
And
was pissed off about that because she had to pay for me to go to Catholic school. And then I got kicked out of
do
Catholic
you
school.
feel like it helped you
No.
being at a Catholic school?
It helped me connect with people because some of those friends I had in Catholic school, I'm still their friend today.
Oh, okay.
So I had good connections as far as who I hung out with, who I
St.
chilled with.
LaSalle's where I went for catechism.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. So I was there from fifth to sixth grade, and then seventh grade she wasn't going to pay no more.
And then you went back.
I went back to. Actually, I went to Cutler. They allowed me to go to Cutler. They said I had a.
Don't let anyone in Cutler.
How long?
Yeah,
How long did you last in Cutler?
I was just there for a semester because then I can go back to Rosie because I had to
Did
wait
you
my expulsion.
for 8th grade graduation? Where were you?
Almani.
El Monte.
Yeah, Almani Junior High. Braves.
Now, were you part of the whole? And I reference El Monte because I went to Kings River Elementary, right, the country
Okay.
school out in Kingsburg.
Right.
And you know, we're a combination of London kids and kids from the country of Kingsburg, and we competed fairly well with most schools when it came to sultanas, your not Golden Corral, what's it called? Stone Corral.
Out the new school. I wasn't there
Like
yet.
like we could hang with those schools,
Yeah.
but if we faced El Monte in anything, we were getting whooped. And so I always put El Monte Junior High on this pedestal for baseball, for football. A lot of it had to do with Ramiro, but I'm sure you were part of that as
Yeah.
well. Raul Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, really.
Were you part of that whole legacy?
No, I didn't play ball. I didn't play baseball. I got hit in the nuts once.
Football?
And that was it. I didn't want to play again.
Football?
Yeah, football. I did
Yeah,
Almani
flag
school.
football.
Yeah, flag. We did that.
Basketball? Were you on the basketball team?
I jammed my finger. I screwed that sport too. I don't like that one either.
So you were on the football team though.
Just football and track. I remember running track.
So you got to be a part of that whole.
Yeah, I see. All,
Dominance.
we all hung out. Yeah, Rama and Raul. All of them. Yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay, so you get through 8th grade. Now we're in high school. Are you at a Rosie High for freshman year, or where
Yeah,
are you?
Rosie High.
And how long did
All-
you stay there?
All 4 years graduated.
All
91.
4 years.
Yeah.
Were you part of the legendary talent show that Jim and his friends put on?
No, but they did an awesome job. I never got into that. I'm not gonna do that.
No,
I wish I would've.
because that seems like a very
Yeah,
Jesse thing.
It was cool. It was cool back then.
But you weren't part of that.
No.
So what was your extracurricular activities in the high school years? Tennis. You
Oh,
said
I played
tennis.
I played tennis. So I was stupid and dumb growing up. I was like, screw this. So my eligibility didn't matter to me, which it should have mattered to me. I'll play. Okay, I won't play. Oh, I'll get eligible. I won't play.
Yeah.
But after I think my junior, I wanted to continue playing tennis and football. So I would always just screw up. Like, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it later. And then, like I said, my junior year, my ground passed. I didn't even care about nothing at that point until I started getting together again. But
So your grandma was right in the middle of your
yeah, my
junior
sophomore
year.
year. I'm not gonna use that as my excuse for my shortcomings.
Yeah, but that's
I
a
just did-
huge
yeah, I just,
blow.
I just, like I said, I would always just half-ass it with work. I'll do it later. Oh, I'll just here's
Yeah.
50% of it. So my eligibility came because of my stupidity, my ignorance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're wearing, as you guys can see, you're repping the Bears, right? The Bears.
The Bears.
When did that Anyone who knows Jesse knows his passion for Chicago. He literally goes to Soldier Field, and that's not down the street. We're in Central California, at least once a year, as far as I know. When did your love for the Bears become a thing?
Always growing up, elementary. Remember Walter Payton Sweetness playing Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas.
I got a name
Earl
for
Campbell.
you, Gary Fensick.
Yep.
He was a safety, right?
Yep.
I don't know why he stood out to me.
Number 46.
And then they had the Bear Shuffle, Super Bowl
the
Shuffle.
Super Bowl Shuffle.
Is that when you fell in love with the Bears, the Jim McMahon era?
Yeah, I like McMahon. Shit, we had Tom Zach back then too.
But did somebody introduce you to the Bears?
No, I had T-shirts. Like when I had pictures of the kid growing up, I had Monster of the Midway, Chicago Bear, like a claw gun like that, because it was cheap. We were poor, so we had no clothing. So whatever was on sale, my grandma bought for me, and then there was always a Bear, so I start wearing it, and then I start watching them. The Bears have always had a horrible season every year.
Yeah,
that's why they're so cheap.
Yeah, exactly. On sale, on clearance, like 75 extra additional % off.
Yeah.
But I would get gear, I'd get clothing, and I'd wear it, and I'd rock it, and then I always like Peyton, the Bears, Dennis Gentry, Wendell Davis, or Thurman, Anthony Thomas. I mean, McMahon, Singletary, Ditka, Butkus, Sayers. Everywhere I would watch it, so we knew who was what. But they always had a horrible season every year. Long as I can remember, never had a quarterback, no line.
And now do you see some
Same thing. Still have a horrible season, no quarterback, no line.
But you stand by them.
I stand by them. I bleed blue and orange.
I love that you stand by that, right?
I've seen Raider fans leave.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I'm a Raider fan.
As much pain that he's gone through a season with the Bears.
We're both
Season
Raider
after
fans.
season.
And I remember, I think it was this year, Jesse bet a bunch of guys on the Raiders, and the Chicago wasn't having a good season.
No.
But they pulled out the win on the Raiders. So this guy goes on Facebook Live, walking back into this bar to collect from everybody.
Run me my money.
and everybody in the bar's like,
yeah, who's this fool?
He's like, "Damn, you gonna put me on camera?" And that was that.
Thank
to
you,
me,
Gabe, by the way. Thank you.
And that is one of the qualities that I've always admired about when I've observed you, is like you'll go into a room of strangers and with the same level of confidence, you'll connect with these guys in a matter of minutes, if not, a couple of hours. And it's like no social situation seems to intimidate you. Why is that?
I try to be cool with everybody. Like I said, I go in there, and if I'm not feeling the vibe, and they're not feeling my vibe, it'll be apparent. It's no big deal. I'm not going to continue trying to talk to them or be extra for whatever reason. I'm going to be.
But you initiate.
Yeah, I'll tell them hi, whatever. Hey, go Raiders, or you had a good game or a good season, whatever the team may be. But I'm not going to sit there and try to initiate conversation if they don't want to be a part of conversating with me.
But you seem very comfortable in your own presence.
Yeah,
I never seen you like, mouse away in the corner. It's hey, what's up?
That's not me. I mean, I just sit there with the best of them.
So where does that confidence? Where does that come from? Because not everybody has that. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I hear that, but I don't feel that I'm like over zealous or whatever. I just feel like I'm just who I am. I just come in, and there could be 3 people sitting here. Hey, the seat taken? No, I'm gonna sit right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna just try to talk and be cool with everybody.
My theory on that, and again, this is just my theory, is that from an early age, you spent so much time feeling like, hey, I'm on my own, that when you come into a social situation, I'm just on my own once again. I've been here before. I don't have my safety net. I don't always have a big crew of people with me. It's just me here, and so I'm comfortable in that element. Was there some truth to that?
I could see that, yeah. Just being who I am, just like I said, not me against the world, Tupac and all that, but I just me being who I am, just trying to live. I could see that, yeah.
You do you.
And
do me, boo.
Here's the other aspect I wanted to talk to you about. I know you work with the youth. Can you explain to our audience what exactly your interaction is with our local youth?
So in Fernando County, we get clients from all different counties, up north, down south.
Is it a group home setting?
It's a group home setting, and we get 12 to 17-year-old kids. This is called STRP, STRIP program, and these are pretty much, we're considered an acute hospital. So before they would go to the PAC, you're going to go 5150s, they're out of control, behavioral, mentally, physically, they're nuts. So now they come to us, and we try to meet those goals and treatments to get them down from 10 times a day to 5, from 5 to 3 to 2 to 1 to none. Behaviors, outbursts, tantrums, destruction of property. So we do a lot of that, and most importantly, try to reunify them with the family, reunification.
And how long have you been in that?
I've been with the same company for 28 years, 29 of
28?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like 10. 28 years.
I dibble-dabbled, but I always stayed there with them. I went to different group homes, different agencies, different facilities, but I've always stayed with quality. My mama, Miss Johnson, she's a big part of where I'm at today and where I'm at because of her.
Mrs. Johnson.
Yeah,
Miss
May
Johnson? I think of Friday.
Yeah, that's what I tell her. Hey, Miss Johnson.
So
She's an awesome woman. She is.
she kind of a mentor for you?
Oh yeah. She was a great uplifting for me. Very, very humble woman. Very humble woman. Very respectful, humble woman, and a pillar of the community. Not just the fact that she has a facility. She's done so much things for Department of Social Services.
Yeah.
And she's been around. Her name's very well known in Fresno and throughout the counties. But yeah, Miss Johnson was a big inspiration and a huge stepping stone where I stepped on to get to where I need to be today. And I thank her for a lot of that.
Would it be accurate to say that your experiences growing up help you to relate to some of these kids and what they're going through?
You know, Robert, when I talk about the time when I contemplated the whole suicide thing and it jammed and why it did, I said I had a purpose here. And I think I went to therapy for myself, but I think that when I said I had a purpose here, working with these individuals is the purpose that I had. I think God chose me to be in their paths at one point or another in their life. I'm a firm believer. If I plant the seed, I can't always water that seed, but you guys being educators will water that seed at another point, another time. This kid may be here in Madera today and then transfer out to Lemoore and go to you, Stratford, or somewhere out there, and you guys watering that seed, that same nurturing love is going to continue to take place.
No, I'm a firm believer in that as well. And the fact that you've gone through some of these things, I think that like this instant street cred to say, Jesse, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My all I got is my grandma, Jesse. You don't know what I'm talking about. And what do you say?
I've had those. I've had those kids tell me that. You guys say, I know what you're saying. I know what you're going through. When the kids tell you don't know nothing, you guys just say, you guys talk that shit. I'm like, no, bro. I've lived that life. I've done X, Y, and Z. And, they're like, what? No, you didn't. And I'll say, man, look it. And I'll pull out a piece of paper. And this is my favorite one. I'll show my check stub. You see that? I go, this is for, you guys want to say, oh, I'm going to hit the skins or I'm going to smash or whatever. I said, pull out, put a Jimmy on. Because look at this. Half my check goes. Child like half of my money. So I tell these kids, listen to my experience on life and life after this little life you want to call life right now. So I think a big part of me with these kids that I deal with, at times I could connect the 99.9% of them, but there's that 1%, that 0.1% that I can't connect with. But then I can't, you can. So I pass the torch to you to do your thing because it's not always just about me. It's a team, and especially with these kids, it's a team effort.
Like you said earlier, it takes a village, right? But it also, no matter what that village is, everybody has to have love. Right? We come with love, whether it's my approach or Jesse's or the way Jim connects with his students. It's all got to come from a place of love, right? And I've noticed that a lot of times you'll finish your Facebook post or you'll post one love. Like that's a big thing with you is one love.
Growing in the town that we grew up in, Rosy color, we didn't have people of color. It was just Mexican, Filipinos, and whites. That was it. There was no black. There was a few Asian, but not like Cambodia or Laos, Hmong. And a lot of my friends now are Asian. A lot of my friends are black, and we hang out, and it's a different thing. So like we don't like Peyton doesn't see color. I'll never forget the one day she gets mad when I tell, but I don't care.
Oh, hold on. We're talking about the
my
famous
daughter.
PYT.
Yeah, PYT, yeah. Her name's Peyton, everyone.
Oh, Peyton.
We call her
That's her
PYT.
name.
I call her PYT, and that stuck with her.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I told Peyton, I said, hey, I seen a little homegirl at the store right now. You seen her? She said, who? I said, the little homegirl with the little braids, mama. She was like, who? I said, your little homegirl, little black girl with the braids. She was like, and Peyton's in the 3rd grade or 4th grade. She's like, who, Papa? I'm like, PYT, your little friend that lived around the corner, little black girl with braids. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then the next morning I dropped her at school and I took her, that little girl. She goes, oh. She goes, that's your niece. I said, yeah, little black girl. Papa, her not black. She's just darker brown than us. And I'll never forget that because my baby doesn't see color. And that day, I remember I tripped out. I called Maggie. I'm like, hey, check this out. And I started telling her, she goes, oh, Mendez, yeah, because Peyton grew up at the daycares that were ran by Miss Johnson, and predominantly it's black clients that would go there. A few Asian, a few Mexican, but predominantly black on the West. So Peyton grew up with that knowing everybody, loving everybody. So I always think about that. And so us working in the field we work with, we get kids from all different diversities, all different socioeconomical backgrounds, and a lot of kids from the Bay Area, like the little hyphy kids. They're insane.
Hyphy. I remember that. Hyphy makes me think of E40 and the Federation.
Oh, yeah.
So we know that you're always moving and shaking. And now I don't know if it's going to be your side hustle or your main hustle, but you got the shirt you're repping today. Let's talk about Papa Bear's Catering.
Yeah, let's do man. No, this has been a blessing, Lord. Thank you. It's I've always cooked, but I've never taken it to level to where I'm gonna do an event for 50 people, yet alone 500 people. And I've done those events, and I've had an awesome team, a lot of people that helped me out that made it possible for me to do those events. But I never took it to like, oh, I'm gonna start opening a business. Then I started doing more catering, more private events, more events, corporation events, and I just like, whoa, so, I gotta slow down. What am I doing? So then I got licensed. Then we got everything taken care of. We got our LLC. We got everything. Everything needs to be going the right direction. Has been going the right direction. And I have a team that helps me out. And I could tell them I can't do it without you guys. I mean, you guys are a big part of this. And this little chapter in my life is taken off significantly for probably the last 4 or 5 years. But I've been cooking forever. I just never really charged anyone with cooking. Oh, 12-pack, bro, me a bottle, we're good. But now like, I get a lot of events, for weddings, quinceañeras, sweet 16s, 50th anniversaries, sadly funerals, but a lot of stuff, man, and graduations. Like right now, I have June, July super filled up, October already getting, November filled,
Yeah.
and it's just people that book out in advance. And it's like I said, I can't do without them or the community. So I'm very humbled and thankful.
So you're a businessman now.
I
Or
got
you always been?
negocios. I got negocios. Yeah, I am.
Papa Bear's
Yeah,
Catering.
yeah, I do.
So let's say somebody who's watching right now, they're like, hey, I'm looking for a caterer in the local Central Valley. How can they get a hold of you for Papa Bear's Catering?
Bubba's Catering. I'm on social medias, the platforms of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Tinder, Grinder, MySpace. No, it's all those.
Tinder.
Yeah,
He
I'm
said
local. Bubba's
MySpace.
Catering. Yeah, it's on there. Your website. I got a domain.
We can find you.
Yeah, I have a QR code.
All right. Hey, you guys want to support Papa Bear's Catering? Look up Mr. Jesse. Online, you're Jesse Chewy Mendez. No?
Yes. TikTok.
CHUY? CHUY.
Yes.
Is Chewy your nickname or?
Chewy's like Jesus in Spanish, and then they call.
So you're
Chewy's-
Jesse Jesus
yeah.
Mendez.
Jesse Mendez. No, Jesse Mendez. But Chewy's always been like my nickname. My grandmother gave me, my family gave me Chewy.
Grandma.
Probably get a quicker response saying Chewy than Jesse. Like what? Yeah. So it's Chewy.
And now,
Isn't that crazy how we all have all these nicknames, right?
Mhm.
Like, what do they
Wait.
call you, Rob?
I had a lot of nicknames, but because I was Robbie Scaredo Junior,
Yeah.
so in the neighborhood, my mom would be like, Junior, and like 10 kids would show up.
¿Cuál Junior?
Well, Junior. No, that one right there.
Lo otro Junior.
Well, and so you were Chewy, and you were apparently Big Red, Little
Big
Red.
yeah.
Big Red, like
yeah.
the gum.
Yeah, I don't have any red hair anymore.
We had a whole head of red.
Yeah.
A whole head
Oh,
of
I
red.
know. I saw the pictures.
Carrot top.
Carrot top.
Yeah, Malachi from Children of the Corn.
Yeah,
That's what
for
I
reals.
look like right there.
Malachi.
Yeah, he did.
That sounds like a name that Jesse
Scary.
came up with. Malachi.
Yeah, but Stuart, we called Stu, or
Stu
Bart.
Man,
We called him Bart for a while. Yeah.
He's the first Stewie.
Why do we call him Bart?
I gave him Bart because he's yellow. He had his hair up. He was like a skateboard. The hair going in the front. He gets
Oh,
mad
he's
about
the
that.
dye. Yeah, I think I remember Stuart because of the dyed
Ay,
hair.
caramba.
Yeah.
He used to get all mad. You're a fool.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
We got to get everyone together again, dude. It's been a while.
I would love to.
Get the band back together. I'd love to witness that. So, one of the things that I like all my viewers to walk away with, right, is something to inspire, to provide hope, some insight. Given everything that we've talked about today, from not having your parents around to losing your grandmother and your best friend at a pivotal age, right? I want to just address one last thing before we ask you this question, and that is that you told me recently you went to Arizona to visit your father, who's been absent most of your life, and you used a very important word that I love, and you said it was a healing process. So talk about reconnecting with your father.
Yeah, so not like I said, no, shame in my game. He got out of prison. He was locked up for 12 years, and he got out. And I know he's older up there in age. He's not doing the best health-wise. Caught COVID in there, caught pneumonia, bronchitis, the whole nine. Got out, got better, got back in the hospital. Now he's out doing better. So I told him, I guess I got to go, Mom. I said, I got to go see my pops. So I flew out there, got to see him, my brother, my sister, my primo, my tias. Got to see them, my Shree, my cousin, my tia Pat, my cousin Shree, cousin Daniel, all of them, Andrew, seeing all of them. It was good. Seeing my dad, though, was a big deal for me. because I'm as ugly as he is, man. Looking at him, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. I'm like, son of a bitch. I look at like, I'm just like you, man. Not being around this man, I could tell you in probably one hand how many times I've seen him as an adult as I am right now, 51-year-old adult. Probably 5 or 6 times. Maybe I do the finger. But seeing him this last week was really good for me. It was a healing process for me because I didn't go with animosity. I didn't go with ill will. I went past all that. I went to see what I could do to help him out. See how I could help him in any which way, shape, or form with his living situation. Financially, he's doing great. He's doing his thing. Got the stuff going on. My little brother, big partner, Joaquin, helps him out. FedEx. But most importantly, it was just to hang out with him. We went to go play pool. We had some good eats. We went a little sightseeing here and there. It was cool with me because he would just, we call him Mother Goose. He would just tell me story after story after story. Although I heard the stories, I just let him continue to talk. Like, all right, cool, you want to tell me that again? Go for it. But it was just really positive. And I think my gratification came when I talked to him after the fact that I got back to California. He's like, you know, mijo, you coming at her, I had the best of both worlds. I had you and I had Joaquin. And I had both my sons with me. And probably something I'll never forget. And I thought that was pretty deep because, again, I had never been around this man. Never hung out with him, much less broke bread and had something to eat with him at that point. So to me, it was a positive interaction that I had with him and my family out there.
And I'm so glad that that happened for you. And again, before we leave for our viewers, I like to bring value to these interviews. So, given that your parents weren't around growing up, given that you lost your grandmother at 15, given that you lost your cousin, your best friend at a young age, and given that you at one point contemplated suicide, you're now living a good life, a great life. What kept you going, and what do you think you could give to our viewers out there as a form of advice to keep going when things get at their darkest?
To those listening or those who are going through, we all go through our own trauma, our own turmoil, and our own points in our life. How we deal with them is different than everybody. But whatever I may say at one point or another, or Jim or Robert or the next person in your life, or any complete stranger, everyone's going through something different. So be kind, be humble, be grateful, but most importantly, just be respectful to yourself as well as the community out there because we don't ever know what anyone's going through. And just try to be there for anybody you don't know. I mean, I'll pull over the side of the street. Hey, you okay? You good? Or you got a car? You got a phone? All right. And I'll take off. Peyton tells me, Papa, why'd you stop? I said, because shit, that could be us one day. So I hope the next person will stop to help you guys out, if I'm not around. So, and that being said, I would just, my whole spiel is just be kind because there's always something out there and don't give up. Just continue to go because I never thought I was going to own a business, much as have a catering license to cook or, it's something that happened.
Big time.
And it just continue to grow and just keep striving, keep going, reach for the stars. Sky's the limits to whoever it may be out there needing this message or help from anybody else.
Wow. Okay, so I could summarize what I got from you: be kind, be grateful for every day on this earth. Be good to others. Look out for each other. Right. Be blessed up.
Most importantly, live your life though. Live your life because there's so many people not living their life and they live it.
What do you mean by
the wrong
that?
reasons. There's people that can live a life and it's just a ruse. It's just I'm here.
Routine or just trying to look a certain way.
It's to compete with the Joneses, to live with the Joneses. Just live your life for you, to who you are. Be real to yourself. Be real to who you are inside. And then
not so worried about keeping up with the Jones.
I don't worry about people thinking about me. I know a lot of people thinking shit about me. I don't worry about it. I don't lose sleep over. I sleep like a newborn baby. But like I said, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I get that, and I'm okay with that, And just the day that I go, like I said, I just want everyone to know, just live your life for the fullest. Just live and be happy living it. Don't live in regrets. Don't live like, oh, I could have done that. Or tell you, for example, Maggie and Peyton, they went to the Thule farm.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? We went one year, awesome. But I told her, oh, well, I want to go, but I said, you guys go. So that's a spur of the moment. Okay, let's go, Mia. And they took off, and they're gonna come back with. I'm gonna post them to come back with beautiful flowers, and it makes her happy, makes Peyton happy, makes me happy seeing them happy. You know what I mean? So it's like the domino effect, the whole recycle. I'm happy because it's the way that we're geared up in a sense, Like most people are like, oh, you're not gonna go over there. I'm gonna go. We're not going to help me. Go, babe. I was in Tucson for like 8 days. My wife wasn't like, oh, you got to come home. Live your life, Papa. Do your thing. So that's what I do. I try to live it for us.
Amen. Well, thank you for being on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you.
And as we always end every session, it's love, peace, and chicken grease. This is RobLive, and we're out.